Welcome back to our channel, Coin History Vault. These Washington $quarter coins make people rich. Let's find out why. Don't miss out one of these. Who know a sigil coin make you rich? Let's start this. Coin 1. Today we are talking about a coin that most people have touched, spent, or ignored without realizing what it truly represents. A coin that sits quietly in old jars, drawers, and inherited collections. The United States of America Washington $quarter from 1965. At first glance, it looks ordinary, but once you understand its history, its timing, and its hidden varieties, you will realize why collectors listen very carefully whenever this year is mentioned. 1965 was not just another year for American coinage. It was the turning point. The year when silver disappeared from circulating quarters. Before this moment, Washington quarters were made of real silver. After this moment, they were not. That makes the 1965 Washington quarter a symbol of change, confusion, and rarity all at once. This coin was born during a national coin shortage. People were hoarding silver coins, banks were empty, and the United States Mint was under massive pressure. To solve this crisis, the government removed silver from quarters and replaced it with a copper and nickel composition. But the transition was not smooth. Mistakes happened. Errors slipped through. And those mistakes are exactly what collectors dream about today. One of the most talked about rarities connected to the 1965 Washington quarter is the existence of transitional errors. These are coins that were accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets. Imagine a quarter dated 1965 that still contains real silver. That is not supposed to exist. But a very small number do, and they are among the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. Another reason this coin attracts attention is its minting quality. During the rush to produce coins, dies were overused. This resulted in doubled dies, off-center strikes, weak strikes, and clipped planchets. Many of these errors were released into circulation and spent without a second thought. Today, those same coins are hunted aggressively by collectors. Look closely at Washington's hair, the letters in Liberty, and the date itself. Doubling in these areas can turn a common quarter into a highly desirable collectible. Off-center strikes where part of the design is missing create dramatic visual appeal. Clipped planchets show curved missing metal that proves a minting error occurred before the coin was struck. Condition plays a massive role as well. Most 1965 quarters were heavily used. Finding one in brilliant uncirculated condition is not easy. Coins with strong luster, sharp details, and nowhere stand out immediately to experienced collectors. Proof-like surfaces, even though official proof quarters did not exist that year, add another layer of excitement. Collectors love this coin because it represents the end of an era. It marks the final chapter of silver circulating coinage and the beginning of modern clad money. It tells a story of economic pressure, public reaction, and minting chaos. Holding one feels like holding history frozen in metal. Many people assume rare coins must be ancient. But this coin proves that rarity can come from mistakes, timing, and survival. A simple quarter from 1965 can still surprise you decades later. That is why collectors always say never ignore your change. If you are watching this video, listen carefully and check every Washington quarter you own from this year. Weight, sound, edge color, and strike quality can reveal secrets most people never notice. The thrill of discovering something rare is what makes coin collecting so addictive. Now let us talk about value, because this is where curiosity turns into excitement. In normal circulated condition, a standard 1965 Washington quarter is worth only its face value. In uncirculated condition, it can reach values equal to several dollars in real market sales. Error coins such as off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and doubled dies can sell for amounts ranging from tens to hundreds of dollars depending on severity and condition. The rare transitional silver examples are in a completely different category, with verified auction results reaching values equal to several $1,000s, and in exceptional cases, climbing into the range of tens of thousands of dollars at major auctions. This is why the 1965 Washington quarter is not just a coin. It is a lesson, a mystery, and for some collectors, a life-changing discovery. Coin 2, we are stepping into a year that many people overlook, yet serious collectors never ignore. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1967. At first glance, it feels like an ordinary pocket coin, something you may have spent on snacks or dropped into a vending machine. But behind this simple appearance is a fascinating story of scarcity, minting pressure, and unexpected errors that have turned certain examples into highly sought-after collectibles. 1967 belongs to a very special era in American coin history. Silver had already disappeared from quarters, and the country was still struggling with the aftermath of a massive coin shortage. People were hoarding older silver coins, circulation was chaotic, and the United States Mint was focused on producing huge quantities as fast as possible. When speed becomes more important than perfection, mistakes happen, and that is exactly why this coin matters. Unlike earlier Washington quarters, the 1967 quarter carries no mint mark at all. This was done intentionally to discourage collectors from hoarding new coins. But ironically, this decision made identifying rare varieties more challenging and exciting. Every 1967 quarter must be examined carefully because rarity is hidden in the details, not the surface. One of the most desirable aspects of this coin is its error potential. During this period, worn dies were frequently used, creating double die errors that appear in the lettering of Liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and Washington's profile. These doubling effects are not reflections or damage. They are true minting errors that collectors hunt aggressively. Off-center strikes are another major attraction. These occur when the coin blank was not properly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing and creating dramatic visual appeal. The more off-center the strike while still showing the full date, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some examples look so unusual that they immediately stand out even to non-collectors. Clipped planchet errors are also found in this year. These coins show a curved or straight missing section of metal caused by a cutting error before striking. When genuine, these errors provide strong evidence of mint mishaps and are highly collectible. Multiple clips on a single coin raise interest even further. Condition plays a powerful role with the 1967 Washington quarter. Most were heavily circulated, scratched, and worn. Finding one with sharp details, strong luster, and minimal marks is far more difficult than people expect. Coins that appear almost untouched carry a premium simply because so few survive that way. Collectors also pay close attention to strike quality. Weakly struck hair details, flat eagle feathers, or unusually strong impressions can signal die state variations that add interest. Some coins even display proof-like surfaces despite being circulation strikes, making them visually stunning and desirable. What makes this coin truly enjoyable for collectors is that it still hides in plain sight. It can be found in old rolls, family collections, and forgotten jars. The thrill comes from knowing that rarity does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it whispers through a doubled letter, a missing curve of metal, or an unusual alignment. This coin represents resilience and transition. It was produced during a time when the mint prioritized survival over beauty. Yet from that chaos came coins that tell stories far richer than their face value. Every 1967 quarter carries the fingerprints of an era under pressure. For coin lovers watching this video, this is a reminder to slow down, observe carefully, and never underestimate modern coins. The joy of collecting comes from discovery, learning, and the possibility that something ordinary might be extraordinary. Now let us talk about value and worth. In average circulated condition, a regular 1967 Washington quarter holds only face value in the real market. In uncirculated condition, examples commonly sell for values equal to several dollars. Error coins such as double dies, clipped planchets, and off-center strikes have real market prices ranging from dozens of dollars to several $100s depending on strength and condition. High-grade uncirculated error examples and visually dramatic pieces have reached auction values equal to several $1,000s in documented sales. That is why the 1967 Washington quarter is not just spare change. For collectors who listen carefully and look closely, it is an opportunity hiding in history. Coin 3, we are diving into a year that many people overlook, yet seasoned collectors quietly respect. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1973. At first glance, it feels like an ordinary modern coin, something that passed through countless hands without a second thought. But for those who truly understand coins, this year holds secrets that make it far more interesting than its appearance suggests. By 1973, the United States Mint had fully transitioned into the modern clad era. Silver was long gone, and quarters were being produced in massive numbers to meet everyday demand. But high production often comes at a cost. Speed replaced precision, and quality control was not always perfect. This environment created the perfect conditions for minting errors that now excite collectors around the world. One of the most important things to understand about the 1973 Washington quarter is that it was produced at more than one mint. Some coins were struck without a mint mark, while others carry a small letter that many people never notice. That tiny detail can make a big difference to collectors, especially when combined with condition and strike quality. Error coins are the heart of this year's appeal. Double die varieties can be found in the lettering of Liberty, the date, and even Washington's profile. These errors occurred when the die received more than one misaligned impression, creating a doubling effect that cannot be replicated by damage. When clear and strong, this doubling instantly increases collector demand. Off-center strikes are another exciting discovery for 1973 quarters. These occur when the coin blank was not positioned correctly during striking, leaving part of the design missing. The most valuable examples are those that still show the full date while being dramatically off-center. Such coins often look so unusual that even non-collectors stop to stare. Clipped planchet errors also appear in this year. These coins are missing a curved or straight portion of metal caused by an error during the cutting process before striking. Authentic clips show specific characteristics that confirm they were created at the mint, not after circulation. When genuine, these errors are highly collectible. Another fascinating aspect is strike weakness and die deterioration. Some 1973 quarters show soft details in Washington's hair or the eagle's feathers, while others show unusually strong impressions. Late-stage die cracks, chips, and cuds add another layer of interest. These imperfections tell the story of tools pushed beyond their limits. Condition is extremely important. Most 1973 quarters were heavily circulated and show obvious wear. Finding one with full luster, sharp details, and minimal marks is surprisingly difficult. High-grade uncirculated examples stand out immediately and are prized by collectors who specialize in modern coinage. Proof coins from this year also attract attention, especially those with deep mirror surfaces and strong contrast. While proofs were not intended for circulation, some have developed errors or exceptional eye appeal that places them into a premium category. What makes the 1973 Washington quarter especially enjoyable is its accessibility. It is not an ancient coin locked away in museums. It can still be found in collections, old rolls, and forgotten drawers. This creates excitement because discovery feels possible. Collectors love this coin because it proves that modern does not mean boring. It proves that rarity is not always about age, but about survival, mistakes, and attention to detail. Every coin from this year carries the potential to surprise. For coin lovers watching this video, this is a reminder to slow down and observe. Look closely at your quarters. Study the date, the edges, the lettering, and the strike. The joy of collecting comes from the moment when something ordinary suddenly becomes extraordinary. Now let us talk about value and worth. In regular circulated condition, a standard 1973 Washington quarter holds face value in the real market. In uncirculated condition, common examples sell for values equal to several dollars. Error coins such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and significant die varieties have real market prices ranging from dozens of dollars to hundreds of dollars depending on strength and condition. Exceptional high-grade error examples and rare proof errors have reached auction values equal to several $1,000s in documented sales. That is why the 1973 Washington quarter is not just change. For collectors who listen carefully and look closely, it is history hiding in plain sight. Coin 4. We are exploring a coin that most people have seen countless times but very few have truly understood. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1974. On the surface, it appears simple and familiar. But behind that familiar face of George Washington lies a world of hidden details, unexpected mistakes, and collector secrets that make this year far more interesting than many imagine. By 1974, American coinage was deep into the modern-clad era. The mint was producing millions of quarters every single day to keep up with circulation demands. Speed was essential, efficiency was everything, and perfection was often sacrificed. This is exactly why this year matters so much to collectors today. When machines run non-stop and dies are pushed beyond their limits, rare errors are born. One of the first things collectors notice about the 1974 Washington quarter is that it exists with different mint origins. Some coins were struck without a mint mark, while others carry a small letter that many people overlook. That tiny mark, combined with condition and strike quality, can significantly affect desirability. Minting errors are the true stars of this year. Double die varieties are among the most exciting finds. These appear when the die used to strike the coin received more than one misaligned impression. The result can be seen in doubled letters in Liberty, doubling in the date, or subtle doubling in Washington's profile. These are not scratches or damage. They are mint-created errors that collectors search for carefully. Off-center strikes are another major attraction. These errors happen when the coin blank was not centered properly during the strike. The design appears shifted, leaving blank space on one side. The most collectible examples still show the full date while being significantly off-center. These coins instantly stand out and are highly visual. Clipped planchet errors also exist in 1974 quarters. These coins are missing a curved or straight portion of metal due to a cutting mistake before striking. Genuine clips show specific characteristics such as metal flow and distortion that prove they were created at the mint. Multiple clips on one coin increase interest even further. Die cracks, chips, and cuts add another layer of excitement. As dies wore down, cracks formed and pieces broke away. This resulted in raised lines, blobs, or missing sections in the design. Each of these features tells the story of a die pushed to its final limits. Condition plays a critical role in value. Most 1974 quarters were heavily circulated and show wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. Finding one with strong original luster, sharp details, and minimal marks is surprisingly difficult. High-grade uncirculated examples are far scarcer than many people expect. Proof coins from this year also capture collector attention, especially those with deep mirror-like fields and strong contrast. Proof errors, while rare, are especially desirable and command strong interest when discovered. What makes this coin truly fascinating is that it still hides in plain sight. It may sit quietly in old collections, forgotten jars, or inherited boxes. The excitement comes from knowing that rarity does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it reveals itself only to those who look closely and understand what they are seeing. Collectors love the 1974 Washington quarter because it represents a time when quantity ruled over quality. From that environment came coins that are imperfect, unique, and historically meaningful. Every error tells a story of pressure, speed, and human oversight. For coin lovers watching this video, this is a reminder to slow down and enjoy the hunt. Examine your quarters carefully. Look at the date, the lettering, the edges, and the strike. The joy of collecting is not just about money, but about discovery and connection to history. Now let us talk about coin value and worth. In normal circulated condition, a standard 1974 Washington quarter holds only face value in the real market. In uncirculated condition, common examples are worth amounts equal to several dollars. Error coins such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and major die varieties have real market prices ranging from tens of dollars to hundreds of dollars depending on clarity and condition. Exceptional high-grade error examples and rare proof errors have reached auction values equal to several $1,000s in documented sales. That is why the 1974 Washington quarter is not just spare change. For collectors who listen carefully and look closely, it is history hiding in plain sight. Coin 5. We are talking about a coin that many people believe is too modern to matter, yet experienced collectors know better. The United States of America Washington quarter dollar from 1991 with the P mint mark. At first glance, it feels ordinary, almost invisible in everyday change. But hidden within this coin are details, mistakes, and survival factors that have turned certain examples into coins collectors quietly search for. By 1991, the United States Mint was operating at full speed. Millions of quarters were being produced to support daily commerce across the country. When production numbers are high, most coins blend into the background. However, high-speed minting also creates opportunities for errors, and those errors are exactly where rarity is born. The P-Mint mark tells us this coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. During this period, quality control was good but not flawless. Dies were used for long periods, and planchets were fed rapidly through machines. Over time, dies began to wear, crack, and sometimes fail, leaving behind clues that collectors study closely today. One of the most exciting discoveries on 1991 P Washington quarters is double die errors. These appear when the die that strikes the coin receives more than one misaligned impression. The result can be seen as doubling in the word liberty, the date, or the motto "In God We Trust." True doubling looks bold and raised, not flat or damaged, and when clearly visible, it instantly raises collector interest. Another important error category is off-center strikes. These occur when the coin blank was not properly aligned during the strike. The design appears shifted, sometimes dramatically. The most valuable examples still show the complete date while leaving a blank crescent on one side. These coins are visually striking and impossible to ignore. Clipped planchet errors are also known for this year. These happen when the metal strip was cut incorrectly before striking, leaving part of the coin missing. Genuine clips have smooth, curved edges and metal distortion near the missing area. When authentic, these errors are highly collectible and often overlooked by non-collectors. Die cracks and chips are another source of rarity. As dies aged, cracks formed and small pieces broke away. This caused raised lines, blobs, or missing design elements on the finished coin. Some 1991 P quarters show heavy die deterioration, making each example unique. Condition plays a massive role in value. Most 1991 P quarters were heavily circulated. They show scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. Finding one with strong luster, sharp hair detail on Washington, and clear eagle feathers is far more difficult than people expect. Coins preserved in high-grade uncirculated condition stand out immediately. Proof-like surfaces on circulation strikes add another layer of interest. These coins display unusually reflective fields, almost mirror-like, even though they were not struck as proofs. Collectors prize these coins for their eye appeal. What makes the 1991 P Washington quarter special is that it still hides everywhere. It can be found in old change jars, bank rolls, and forgotten collections. The thrill comes from knowing that rarity is not always ancient. Sometimes it is modern, subtle, and waiting for someone patient enough to look closely. Collectors appreciate this coin because it proves an important lesson. Age alone does not define value. Errors, condition, and survival are what truly matter. This coin represents the quiet side of collecting, where knowledge turns ordinary objects into meaningful discoveries. For coin lovers watching this video, take your time. Examine the date, the mint mark, the lettering, and the edges. Listen to the coin, feel its weight, and compare it to others. Collecting is not just about money. It is about curiosity, focus, and the joy of learning. Now let us talk about real market value and worth. In average circulated condition, a standard 1991 P Washington quarter is worth only its face value. In uncirculated condition, common examples sell in the real market for amounts equal to a few dollars. Error coins such as double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and strong die crack varieties have real market prices ranging from several tens of dollars to several hundreds of dollars depending on clarity and condition. Exceptional high-grade error examples and dramatic mint errors have reached auction values equal to several $1,000s in confirmed sales. That is why the 1991 P Washington quarter is not just loose change. For collectors who listen carefully and look closely, it is a hidden opportunity waiting to be discovered.